Garage. A building or indoor space in which to park or keep a motor vehicle. They come in every make, shape, and size. But it's what's inside that makes each one of them unique. We have 3 splendid examples, so stick around to see what's in the garage. It's time for a journey around America in search of the hidden gems, rare finds, and unbelievable collections in the garages of the country's auto enthusiasts. Each week, Mike Phillips will lead us through the amazing, fascinating, and entertaining backstories that make up What's in the Garage, presented by AutoGeek.net. Today, Mike is in the Bristol, Tennessee, Virginia area visiting a trio of garages. First up is that of TJ Hearkleroad.
Hi, are you TJ Hearkleroad?
Yes, sir.
I'm Mike Phillips, and I want to know what's in the garage.
Okay, let me take you out here, Mike, and show you what's in the garage.
Let's go take a look.
Come on in, Mike. My cars.
Look at this, TJ. Well, these are nicer than I expected. These are fabulous. Well, tell me about them. What's this first one here?
That's 1956 Ford.
1956 Ford Thunderbird.
Ford Thunderbird, got 312 engine in it.
4-barrel carburetor?
4-barrel carburetor.
Now, how long have you had this?
Probably, well, I've been working on it for the last 10 years, but I have actually had the car about 40 years.
Wow.
Well, it's an off-frame restoration.
A frame-off restoration?
Right.
Okay. So now, did this start out white originally with a red interior?
No, the car started in rust.
It started in rust.
But the original color on it was black.
Okay.
With a white interior in it. And I have changed a few things on it. But it's all original. Everything on it's original.
Wow, this looks like it belongs on the showroom floor even today. It is that nice.
Another thing about this car, it won't start in any gear but neutral. You have to put it in neutral to start it.
Is that factory?
Right. Yeah, that's factory. That's the way it comes.
I didn't know that. Wow, look at this. This is beautiful. Everything is so clean you could eat off this engine. This is nice. This is all 100% factory stock, just like you get it right off the showroom floor.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Boy, does this thing run really good too? Is it really fun to drive?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. I see you got the original style Firestone gangster white walls on here.
Yeah, these are the original tires, original.
The original style.
Yeah.
They're not original tires from 1956.
Original style, yeah.
Yeah, they look really good on the car.
They're made out of the same forms.
Since you got this on a rack, how about we put the hood down and let's take a look at the underneath.
Okay.
Let's see how clean that is.
Will do.
Now, did you try to keep everything to factory spec when you had this all restored?
Everything was done. When you start taking these cars apart, you count the number of shims that goes under each bolt.
That's right.
And
it's all for alignment purposes.
Right.
Yes, I've taken a few cars apart, and you need to monitor how many shims are between the bolt, the fender, and the washer. Right. So when you put it back together, everything lines up.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about is the body too. It has to be aligned too.
Hey, you know what I noticed as this is coming up? Look how you've raised up the roof. So when you bring up the car, of course, the top and the windshield aren't going to run into the roof.
Right.
Not only is it a functional, but it's also kind of stylish too. It looks good.
Yeah, it was mostly put in to be different.
Sure. Well, TJ, this is really nice. Just like the inside of the car and the engine compartment, everything on here is so clean. I mean, you could literally eat off the car. Not that I'd want to. I want a plate when I eat, but this is really clean.
Well, appreciate it.
You could probably do the white glove test. There's no grease or oil in anything. And everything you can see, all the new nuts and bolts, washers, everything is brand new.
Every brake line on it, every nut, bolt.
Oh yeah, new springs, everything. Wow, this is nice. You've done a really nice job restoring this classic 1956 Ford Thunderbird. One thing that's kind of unique about the old Fords and a lot of classic cars is how the exhaust flows and comes right out the bumper.
Yeah, this exhaust comes out through the end of the corners of the bumper, but really the exhaust comes out here.
It looks like it comes out the bumper,
right,
yeah. The Continental kit, of course, that's one of the features of the 56 that really make it stand out is the Continental kit. And of course, the 56 had the porthole hardtop,
Right.
which is also very attention-getting.
That is, the Continental kit is the 56 is the only car that Ford made with the Continental on it.
So anybody else, they had to do that as an add-on.
Right.
Okay.
It's add-ons for every car except 56.
So ever since TJ has restored this car, he told me he's never washed it, okay? And two things about that. One, nowadays there's a lot of spray detailers so you can wipe the dust off. You don't have to get the car wet. But the important thing is after you do a frame-off, body-off restoration like this, you don't want to get water down all the cracks and crevices where it could cause rust again. So he already had this thing dipped to remove all the rust, doesn't want to cause it again. Well, let's go ahead and take a break now, and then we'll go over and take a look at the 1965.
Auto Geek's What's in the Garage is brought to you by Menzerna Polishing Materials. Available at autogeek.net. ARP, the world leader in fastener technology. And by Poor Boys, good old-fashioned value and extreme shine. Available at autogeek.net.
Welcome back to Auto Geek's What's in the Garage. Mike is ready to look at TJ's 65 Thunderbird.
So what's the story behind the 65 over here?
The 65, I got it from a doctor in Morganton, North Carolina.
Now, what size engine does this
This
have?
has got the 390 engine in it.
Okay, so it's got a big block in it.
Right.
Yeah. Really feel the power. You put your foot down on the floor?
Right.
Okay. Let's take a look. Now, this was originally a white with a white interior, correct? Wow, this is beautiful. My dad has a 1965, and it's actually got the blue interior like you've got in the console here.
Right.
Yeah, it's also very pretty.
Did it have the slide-away steering?
It has the slide-away steering wheel, yes, and the gauges that looks and the pull switches are kind of like the airlines back then.
Right,
Yeah.
and also the speedometer on it.
Uh huh.
It starts out on yellow, and the faster, like 60 mile an hour,
Yeah.
it starts red, gets redder.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
Right.
Well, let's take a look at the motor.
Okay.
So this is a 390 Ford big block.
Big right.
Wow, look at that. Just like the other one, it's 100% stock. It's
Yeah.
immaculate. It's clean. It's a very simple technology back then. It made it real easy for a car guy to work on it.
Right.
Yeah. So it's basically a brand new car, completely restored.
Yeah, it's
So you've got
it's
two
brand new.
Thunderbirds completely restored in an immaculate garage. This thing is clean enough to eat off the floor. It's even shiny.
Well, thank you.
You've got a built-in vacuum. I see you've got little features over here where you can hook your vacuum out the cars if they get dirty. I see you got an air compressor over here. You got all the tools you need to
Right.
completely keep these things maintained. You got a floor lift or a hydraulic lift here so you can bring it up.
Right.
Do the oil change yourself if you need to. I hear you're part of the Ford racing team.
Well, I was Ford racing from Alhoma and Moody for 10 years.
10 years.
From 1968, I run a 1969 Ford 429 Boss
Wow.
engine,
Yeah.
which there's very few of them.
Yeah.
And
Does that car still exist now?
it is in a museum at Wilmington, North Carolina.
Okay. Well, TJ, thank you so much for sharing your cars with us today.
I appreciate you guys coming, and it's been good showing them to you.
Which one's your favorite one to drive?
Favorite one to drive is 65.
65? You like the power?
Right.
That's because you used to race cars.
Right.
Okay.
It's time for Show Car Garage. Tips on detailing your car to bring out the beauty that will make it show worthy. Brought to you by AutoGeek.net. We are Car Care.
Hey, today I want to share with you a really cool product called Poor Boy's Black Hole Show Car Glaze. Now, this is a product for dark colors like black, reds, dark blues to really bring up the shine and the clarity and the gloss of the paint. Now, it's not actually a product that will remove the swirls, it just kind of masks them. And so this comes in real handy if you're short on time or you don't want to spend the whole day buffing out your car, you just want to get it ready for the show and you want it looking good. Now, what I got over here is a 72 Challenger, it's black, and everybody knows black is the hardest color there is to make look good. And I'm just going to show how easy this product is to use. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take and place a tape line down here, and then you can apply this by hand or by machine. Now, I prefer to work by machine because it takes all the work out of the process. Okay, so this is it. This is the Poor Boy's Black Hole Show Car Glaze. You always want to shake it a little bit before you use it. And again, you can apply it by hand or machine. I'll show you how to apply it by hand first. Just take and pour some onto your pad. then bring it down here and work it in really good. Kind of like you're putting a lotion on dry skin. Okay. Now, you could do the whole car like that, or if you're like me and you like to work by machine, take any kind of soft finishing pad or polishing pad and take and apply some of the black hole show car glaze right to the pad. And then let me put the cord over my shoulder, then just bring it down, and on a medium speed setting, I'm on the 5. Just work that into the paint. Go back and forth, make 2 or 3 passes over each square inch. And then what you want to do is you want to let that dry to a light haze. And then after it's dried, take a clean microfiber towel, fold it 4 ways, give you plenty of cushion, it's gentle to the paint, and just carefully wipe that off. Just like that. Now let's pull the tape off and check out the before and after results. Amazing. Now, if you want it to last a little bit longer, you can take and put some wax on there, and that'll lock in the shine. It'll help it to endure through car washes, inclement weather like rain, snow. Anyway, this is Poor Boy's Blue Natty's Paste Wax. And just take a clean applicator pad, put it in here, and just kind of twist it over the surface like that, then come down, put some wax on. This is a real nice finishing wax. There's no cleaners in it. And what it's going to do is it's going to lock in that shine so it'll last over time. And again, since it's a wax, you want to allow it to dry to a haze, and then using a clean microfiber towel, come down real gently, wipe that off. And in no time, you can create a show car finish or go for a cruise. Well, we're here today with Jeff Lennon, and Jeff's going to show us his 1968 Mustang and tell us about how he became the owner of this and how he built this from scratch, basically. Can you go ahead and tell us, Jeff?
Yeah, I found a company in Arizona, Desert Classic Mustangs, who makes coupes into fastbacks.
Okay.
And I wanted a fastback, but I didn't want to have to cut up a nice fastback.
You don't want to buy a good coupe and then cut it up just to make the fastback.
Right, I didn't want to cut up a good coupe. So they take cars that are not in very good shape, and
Sure.
they rebuild them, new frames, everything, put new roof lines on them, new rear quarters, put new doors, new trunk lid, and then they ship them to you.
So what do we have for a motor here?
We have a 351 Windsor. It's been modified, slightly larger cam, Edelbrock heads, performer intake, Holley 670 carburetor, AOD transmission.
So if you put your foot down on the gas pedal, it'll lay some rubber down.
It will go.
Okay.
It will go.
And then, but the biggest thing is you list like the fastback look, right?
It just says Mustang.
Yeah, you bet. One thing I noticed is just how clean and sanitary the whole car is. Now, you take the engine compartment, for example, you've hidden all the wiring, all the plumbing's nice and neat, it's nice and clean, it's a really nice looking engine compartment.
All right, we smooth the firewall. We run the wiring down the left side of the car and underneath and hide it down beside the radiator. We take the plumbing, go out the right side back into the cockpit, the interior of the car, the air conditioner, all the hoses, and we just clean everything up. So the wiring originally was everywhere, so
Yeah.
we could clean it up.
Well, it looks clean enough you could eat off the inside of that, like off the firewall. It's very smooth, very clean, and it's even waxed, it looks like.
It is.
Yeah.
It's waxed.
It looks good. So tell me about the interior. What did you do for that?
The interior, I've used a 2003 front seats. I found 68 rear seats, and Jack Statcher recovered the seats for me, and he custom made the headliner of the car. We used a set of gauges that come pre-done. They're modern gauges, electronic gauges.
They look nice. They have a nice glass interface with chrome bezels. They look
Right.
really nice.
They sort of take on the factory look, but they're still modern gauges.
Yes.
And
Looks like you got some aftermarket pedals down there.
low car pedals.
Low car makes good stuff.
Low car. I use a lot of low car stuff in
Yeah.
the car when I can find it. Low car, see the gas pedal, the brake pedal, the transmission dipstick, and
What about the shifter? Is that the factory shifter?
that is a factory shifter. That's actually out of a '67 Mustang.
It looks good. Looks good. And the seats look real comfortable. Looks like they're velour or Alcantara velour material.
They're a,
Very soft.
A suede-like
Yeah.
vinyl, but they do really very well.
The same material is used on the headliner. I saw that too.
It's a similar material.
Yeah.
It is a similar material.
Well, this looks like it's been quite a project. What's your next project?
I think I'd like to do another convertible,
Another convertible?
another 68 or 65, 67 convertible.
Now, this is a really nice garage. You got room for 2 cars. Will you keep this one and then build a convertible, or will you let this one go and then start a fresh project?
I might let this one go and then start another project.
You just like to keep that change, have a car for a few years and move on to something new?
And change cars and do something different.
Have you always had Mustangs? Is that your passion?
I started with Mustangs when I was 16, but since then I've had a Chevelle and a Corvette and a couple other cars through the years. But
All muscle cars?
all muscle cars, yeah.
There you go. Well, Jeff, thank you for sharing your car with us here today.
You're welcome.
Now, this is a DVD I have. It's called The Principles of Machine Polishing. I want you to have it. Your car's finish looks great, but if you have any questions, it covers it inside there. Now, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to go visit another garage.
Auto Geeks, What's in the Garage is brought to you by AutoGeek.net. We are Car Care, Lake Country, professional grade products for all polishing and finishing needs. And by Tough Rail. Keep all your cargo secure with Tough Rail.
Well, this is one huge garage. This is the kind of garage every car guy wants. Plenty of room to put more than one car, as many cars as you can collect. How are you doing?
Good.
Mike Phillips with What's in the Garage.
Rick Wedgeworth.
Is this your car?
Yes, it is.
Well, let's hear about it.
Well, it's a 64 Ford Thunderbird. It's been in my wife's family since day one when it was new. And so I had an opportunity to buy the car about 12 years ago. I was looking for a project car. And so I bought the car. Actually, my wife bought the car for me for $1,500. And I was just looking for something to tinker around with. And so I bought the car and worked on it the first year. Had to put a new trunk in it, floorboards, and got interested in other things. And about 4 years ago, I got the idea of making me a hot rod out of it, resto mod, how you want to say it.
Sure.
And so I contacted a friend of mine who's built many hot rods and asked him if he'd help me with the project. His name's Jim Kite. And we started the project about 3 years ago, and this is what we came up with, and it's a beautiful, beautiful car, and I'm really happy with it.
Well, when you say you tinkered on it, I'd say you tinkered on it just a little bit.
Yes, yes.
It looks great. Hey, what do you got in there for a motor?
It's a 4.6 liter supercharged Ford motor, 2004. It's a crate motor.
We
It's
take a look
brand
at
new
it?
motor. Yeah, sure.
Wow, that's a motor.
Yeah.
Looks like everything's polished or plated down there.
Yeah, we bought it as a crate motor, and of course everything was painted on top. So I took the valve covers off, had them chromed, polished the supercharger, and
It looks like a pretty tight fit.
yeah, it is. Yeah, we had to kind of trim the shock towers down to get it in there. And
see right down here?
Yeah, the alternator was cut. Area for the alternator was cut out, but it is tight. It's very tight.
Well, I can see right here, my hand just barely fits between the valve covers and the fender
Yeah.
well there.
Yep.
That is a snug fit.
Yep.
How's it sound?
Sounds great. Sounds great. You want to hear it?
Yeah, can you fire it up for
Yeah,
us?
sure.
That does sound good. Let's hear it.
Oh, okay.
That sounds good. What kind of exhaust system you got on there?
It's a straight exhaust with glass packs. Don't really like the sound of the factory Mustang, so I wanted something with the old school sound.
Well, that
so.
sounds really good. What else have you done to it?
It's got air ride on it, air ride technologies. It's got billet specialty wheels, 18-inch.
So you've shaved the door handles.
Shaved the door handles.
Gives it a nice, clean, smooth look.
Yep, gives a smooth look. It's got actuators for the trunk, so the trunk automatically raises also.
Now these classic Thunderbirds were styled sort of with a with a airplane sort of decoration with the switches that pull down like this
Exactly.
and the gauges.
Exactly.
It's very, very stylistic for its time.
Yeah, I really wanted to try to keep the original look to the car as much as possible, because I think the interior on these cars are just absolutely beautiful.
You didn't really need any fixing up. It's nice
No,
as from the factory.
no,
It's
exactly.
kind of got these like barrel seats in the back that are wrap around.
Right,
There's
right.
a real nice look. So it's like a 4-door, or it's a 2-door with a 4-seat capacity.
Yes.
Looks really good. How did you get into cars?
Actually, when I was younger, I used to build models till I was about 10 or 11, 12, and a guy across the street had a Sunoco station, and he used to drag race, and I used to hang out over there because, of course, he drag raced, and that was just a real passion of mine. It was cars, so I thought that was real exciting. And I kept hanging over there a lot, and they finally put me to work over there and helped him start building cars. Then he got into stock car racing, and did that for like 10 years, helping him build cars, and just always been a car nut.
Is this yours over here too?
Yeah, that's my 2006 Harley Davidson. Pretty much stock, got some chrome on it, and a custom paint job.
Yeah.
Love to ride, love to ride.
Well, good diversity. You got someone hot with 2 wheels and
Yeah.
something really hot with 4 wheels.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, we love your garage, and like I said, this is really a big garage, and it's got plenty of room for you to get more cars. You got any plans on doing any future projects?
Actually, I'm looking for a 64 Galaxy. That was one of my first cars, and I just have a passion for 64 Galaxies.
Well, Rick, everybody knows black is one of the hardest colors to maintain. This is a DVD I put out called The Principles of Machine Polishing. It'll help you get a little extra pop and shine out of the black paint.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much for letting
Yep.
us share your car with the rest
Thank
of the
you,
world here.
appreciate it.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week's show. Tune in next week for the next edition of Auto Geek's What's in the Garage.